Did you know that January 17th is titled National Quitters Day? Not because everyone who set their New Year's resolution isn't strong enough or is lazy or isn't consistent or all of these things, but it's actually that they don't know the strategy behind change. And so what happens is they essentially throw in this proverbial towel because they're exhausted and they give up on their New Year's resolution. And I don't want that for you. And so today, what I want to dive in and talk about is I want to talk about change. Now, I'm not sure if you've ever experienced this where maybe you really wanted to create some level of change, but no matter how hard you try, it feels like it just can't happen no matter what you're doing, no matter what effort you put in it, no matter what time you put in, no matter what you think about it, all the things, it just feels impossible. The truth is, there's a lot of information on habit change and motivation, and I'm going to skip all of that today. Okay. I want to do something different. How about we talk about how to make permanent and lasting change? Now, if you're like anyone else, you're probably like permanent and lasting change sounds really difficult. But I want you to better understand how you can use the logical levels of change as a framework for understanding how to make that change. So the logical levels, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but to essentially give an overview of it, the logical levels of change, the model, is a very helpful tool for personal change. And it gives a framework for identifying why things happen the way they do and how to make shifts on a massive and amazing level. The truth is, change is difficult. Changing long held beliefs and habits is even more challenging. Changing behavior, don't even get me started. That's the hardest of all. That is why it is so important for us to use a proven method to make permanent lifestyle changes. Okay. And with the logical levels of change, you're going to learn just that. So, the logical levels of change, also known as the Dilts model or the Dilts logical levels of change, was developed by Robert Dilts and Todd Epstein. Okay. And the logical levels of change helps you to identify why things happen the way they do on an energetic level, on a behavior level, on an environment level, all of the things. And it's often leveraged and used in neuro-linguistic programming or NLP, which is all about the programs and patterns and behaviors of our world, our mind. Um, and it provides a helpful structure for looking at what's happening in any individual and in their experiences. And the truth is because we are often trying to change from a very low level. And this is why change doesn't last. So, what we're going to do is we are going to walk through the process of the different steps and strategies that the different like levels of the logical levels of change so that you can figure out how to apply them. Um, so let's go ahead and dive in. So the first level, when we're often trying to change, we often start at the lowest level, which is an environmental level. So with the environmental level, this is all about the where, right? The environment is the conditions and circumstances in which behavior occurs. It's often used to describe how you're feeling, what your surroundings are like, and how much time you have for something. Okay. The environment can also be thought of as a context for your behavior. So, for example, if you say, like, I'm hungry, I want a sandwich, but don't have any money at the moment, your wallet's empty, you might go somewhere else where food is available, walk to a neighbor's house, walk to your mom's house, or something like that to be able to grab it. The thing with this level is that a person who operates from this level will probably explain the change by stating exactly what happened and who was involved. And typically, from this level, there's this you're playing at like a victim mentality, you're playing at effect, and the explanation will often come with a lot of complaining, which is obviously a telltale sign that they're at the lowest level for the logical levels of change. The next level that we have is the behavioral level. So behaviors are the things that we do, right? The what, and they can be modified, learned, and reinforced, right? Behaviors can also be punished, have consequences, or just be overall overlooked, right? And so all of our behaviors have different results. So, for example, if you want to stop smoking cigarettes, then your behavior might be reinforced if you say, every time I stop smoking, I can eat an Oreo or something, right? Um, or it might be you punish yourself with a negative consequence. Well, if I smoke, I'm going to make myself stand outside in the cold weather without a coat, and that reinforces it, right? But our behaviors are the what about the change. What is it that we're trying to change? And so this is where you'll find that people often start off. So they'll try to change their environment. I want to lose weight. And so I'm going to go to the gym. I want to lose weight. So I am going to, take a shake when I go to the gym. That's that's my behavior behind it. So when you think about change, how does a person act or react into that given situation? What are the physical signs in terms of body language and voice? And what are their habits that are explaining their behavior? The next is capabilities. That's the third level for the logical levels of change. And with capabilities, this is the how. How do I make these changes? So this level is all about the abilities, the skills, the talents, the knowledge, the competencies that we have, which leads to a series of actions and behaviors. So what are the skills and abilities that we currently have that will help us to get the change that we ultimately want? Okay. So that's when we're thinking of capabilities. Again, these are our skills. So um, if you think about like, okay, you want to make change, I want to change my job. What skill do I have to apply to this next job? Okay. So that's an example of the change or the capability level. Then we have belief and values. So belief and values are all about the way in which we see the world, and they're the why do I want to make these changes. If we think about it, our beliefs and our values, these are the way in which we see the world. These are the way in which we prioritize things. These are the way in which our behavior is driven. Okay. Our beliefs and our values provide the primary motivating force behind our actions and capabilities, and therefore have a massive impact on our outcomes. They define who we are and who we become in our life and how we direct and spend our life. Okay. So beliefs are what we believe about ourselves, about others. They influence how we behave in the present moment. And they give us this sense of like control or even, focus in our life. So if you believe that you can't do something because it's too hard, right? Or if you believe you can't have something because it's not for you, it will prevent you from being able to realize and step into your full potential. And with our values, they help guide us through life because they help us understand what's important, what we want to focus on. So our values might be family, it might be love, it might be impact, right? And values also give us direction on how to best use our time while living within the constraints so that they can become a part of who we really are, as opposed to just being some kind of set formula. Okay. The next level, the fifth level we have is identity. So when you think of the identity, it is the who, right? Who am I to do this, right? Who am I to live like this, to make this change, to have this goal? Identity is our sense of self, right? It's our core values and our beliefs. And it really is summed up in like, who am I, right? Identity is a key part of change. It's a way of understanding who you are, how you differ from other people. It's also a way of understanding how you're similar to others or not, and what your traits are, right? So as you think of identity as it relates to change, that's the fifth level. And then we move to the top level, which is the highest logical level, and it deals with the big picture of life. And that is mission. So who else does this involve? Whom do I serve and for what purpose? And that's the mission piece of it. So spirituality falls under the mission piece. And spirituality is the belief that there is more to life than physical reality. It can be defined as the knowledge or awareness of something greater than yourself, or your understanding of how your life fits into the greater scheme of things. Purpose also plays a pivotal role in this part of the process because it's what drives us towards achieving our goals and what drives us towards our dreams. And purpose doesn't mean that you have to have one specific focus, right? It just continues to guide you through life's journey as you continue to develop and to grow this. So when we think of the logical levels of change, I'll go back through it. We have the environment at the lowest level, behavior, capabilities, beliefs, values, and identity, and then mission. So when we think of it, a lot of times when we're wanting to create change in our life, we change at an environmental level. So we're trying to change environmentally. Okay. We're trying to change what's around us. Oh, I feel like I want change. So I'm going to, buy a new house. But we haven't really, we haven't moved all the way up to the identity of like, who am I to even have this house? What is my purpose for this vision, that kind of thing? Or, I really want to be a coach. So I'm going to build an office in my house, and then I'm going to become this coach, right? But then what capabilities do you have to be this coach? What do you believe and value as it relates to being a coach? Who are you to become that coach? What is your mission and your purpose for becoming that coach? And this is why change often doesn't stick, because people change at a foundational level. And they change at a base level instead of really trying to get to the root of it and make massive change. And that's where that transformation happens. When you think of the logical levels of change really gives you a sense of different areas that can be evaluated to see where change needs to occur. So maybe in the past you've made change and you've been like, man, I'm not making a lot of progress with this new business idea I have. And you could use this logical levels model and reflect and say, okay, what did I do wrong? Where did I fall off? Oh, I really focused on the behavior I have. Am I acting like a new podcast show host? Right? But you haven't really changed the identity of who you are at the core to become that transformational podcast show host, right? You can use this as a tool to evaluate where that change needs to occur. And it really helps you to identify what factors could hinder your progress to being able to step into that next level. And I love the logical levels of change so much because it helps you to take these different levels and apply them and put them into practice to really make shifts where necessary. All in all, here's the thing that I need you to know as it comes to change. And I know I was a person that was very resentful and overwhelmed and frustrated with change because I would try, but it felt like I took 2 steps forward and 10 steps back. And I know many people can relate to that. But here's the truth. Change doesn't happen when you're lucky. Change happens when you're intentional. And leveraging this kind of tool helps you to track your progress on the road to permanent behavior change, right? You may not always begin highly motivated and have crazy strong intentions, but following through with your behavior and your choices and really moving your way up this model will help you to create change that becomes lasting, right? And you'll gradually reinforce it until it becomes a habit. Like pretend you're riding a bike and then now you can get on a bike and you don't even think about it. That's what change gets to be for you when you leverage this tool. In the end, we can only make change permanent by continuing to work on the level at which we're making it permanent. If we always focus on the environmental level, we're going to miss the mission. And if we miss the mission, we're going to miss our ultimate purpose. And if we miss our ultimate purpose, that change is going to be fleeting. Change becomes long-term when we develop new habits, break old patterns, build skills in our lives, and prioritize making change valuable and making change align with who we are. So I challenge you to really take some time to consider, what do you believe has been an impacting, whether beneficial or not beneficial, factor that has prevented you from creating the success that you desire and deserve as it relates to change? There may be some things that you're doing really, really well with, and I challenge you to lean in and do more of it, right? And there may be some things that you're struggling with and you're not doing so well with, right? And I challenge you to make shifts and changes around that as well, all right? So that's what I have for you today. If you are ready to take change to the next level, you're ready to make change your norm, you're ready to do the mindset work, you're ready to take aligned action, you're ready to live your purpose, I have just the thing for you. Inside of my Elevate Method Coaching Certification Program, here we support you at taking your vision, making lasting change your norm, and bringing that vision to fruition. And inside this program, you're not only going to be able to apply this tool and some amazing life-changing transformative tools into your personal life, but you'll be able to apply it in your business as well. So if you're ready to bring your vision to life, I'm ready to show you how to build the profitable business from your passion that you desire and deserve. So let's make it happen. You can join me at NicoliaWilliams.com/elevate, and I look forward to seeing you there.